This is the first of a 5-article series titled the Ravana series regarding the prevalent misconceptions about Ravana by me, Neena Rai, the author of Amazing Ayodhya, the splendid ancient city of Lord Ram. They say that adherence to truth is the highest dharma. All truths inevitably go through the trial of being ridiculed, opposed, and eventually accepted as self-evident. Ancient Hindu history or itihas is one such example of truth being ridiculed, opposed, and now a truth that awaits its acceptance. Valmiki, in his original and authentic record of itihas, the Valmiki Ramayana, speaks of the diametrically opposite characteristics of the hero Bhagwan Ram and the villain Ravana. Sri Ram, the prince of Ayodhya, is the best amongst men, and Ravana, the king of Lanka, is the sovereign of rakshasas. Needless to say, Ravana is the best amongst his race of rakshasas. In Sanskrit, the term rakshas is defined as something that is to be guarded against or warded off. A malignant, nocturnal, man-eating giant or demon. In other words, they hunt and they prey on humans and need to be warded off and protected against. The sovereign of the rakshasas, Ravana, is a personification of all these grisly characteristics. Yet somehow, these facts remain elusive to those who wish to romanticize a demon, a cannibal, and a sexual predator. Sadly, this romanticization has now morphed into deification of Ravana. Problematic content depicting this deification is widely spread on all social media platforms. It is observed that these posts blatantly glorify the demon king as a gentle, manly giant and further assert that he abducted Sita out of compulsion but never sexually forced himself on her. For such chivalry, Ravana therefore becomes a misunderstood hero. Consider the following sample image where Ravana's character is exalted. The message is written in Hindi but typed in Roman script, and it says, Happy Dashera. It was indeed not easy to become Ravana. Sita was found alive due to Ram's power. Sita was found pure, i.e. not sexually assaulted, was due to Ravana's dignity. For them, the villain of the great epic Ramayana is Ram, who claimed to have loved Sita but banishes her to the forest in a spectacular display of Hindu patriarchy. Because of what? Foul gossip? For these miscreants, Ram is the perfect misogynist who does not care about his wife. It is conveniently omitted that it is he who fights a war to reclaim Sita and vanquishes a race of rakshasas because of their sovereign Ravana who deceitfully abducts her. The reason for exalting Ravana's character is very simple. Sugarcoat and exonerate the deeds of the malefactor so that the character of Sri Ram automatically diminishes. In comparison, and he then becomes vulnerable. Sri Ram then becomes vulnerable to slanderous assaults. Character assassination of a person, after all, is the easiest weapon when all else fails, especially when they are not present to defend themselves. Make no mistake, the target here is not Bhagwan Ram, but is Sanatan Dharma. After all, he is the most revered and virtuous icon of Sanatan Dharma. Like a well-oiled machinery, this smear campaign works effectively and influences many. Since Sanskrit, the key to understanding the scriptures is no longer mandatory in schools, and neither is the teaching of Ramayana or Mahabharata. Most young and fertile minds ingest the misinformation campaigns being run against Prabhu Ram. Bereft, these innocent minds have absolutely no defense against the lies spoken in the more commonly spoken languages. Come Dashera, the floodgates will open and these posts, these forwards will resurface again. Like banshees creeping out of the woods at night, these miscreants will start howling, abusing and ridiculing the holy Ramayana, our itihas, like it's a birthright. But was Ravana truly the gentlemanly giant he is painted out to be by the runners of these sinister campaigns? Is it truly so? The great sage poet Valmiki disagrees. The sovereign of rakshasas, Ravana, was a vile and evil man. After Ravana abducts Sita from Dandak Aranya, a forest named Dandak, and brings her to Lanka, he tries his best to impress her so that she yields to his lustful desires. In comparison to a banished Bhagwan Ram, who cannot provide luxuries, Ravana can place at Sita's feet any riches she fancies. He shows her his beautiful gem-studded palace, brags to her about the number of subjects under him, and offers her to become the supreme queen of his mighty kingdom. Ravana is conclusively sure that Sita will be impressed by what he is showing and offering her. Unquestionably and willingly, she will walk into his arms. Instead, Sita castigates him. The righteous lady tells Ravana that he can trample her body and life, implying that he can kill her. But she is intolerant to any disrepute to her name by consenting to his desires because she is already wedded to Bhagwan Ram. Even though Ravana desires her, he cannot force himself on her because of a curse. If Ravana ever attempts to engage in sexual intercourse with a lady without her consent, his head will be blown into 100 pieces, killing him instantly. So what does Ravana do? Frustrated by her harsh words, and for her to cave into his demands, he gives her an ultimatum designed to induce fear in her. Sarg 56 of Aranya Kand clearly defines his injunction. Shuno Maithili mat vakyam masan dwadash bhamini kalen anen na abhyeshi yadi mam charu hasini tatah tvam pratah asha artham sudaha chetsyanti leshashaha. In English, the shlok translates to, O beautiful princess from Mithila, O lady with a beautiful smile, listen to my words. I give you a period of 12 months. And if in that time you do not come to me willingly, my cooks will cut you into small bits for breakfast. An enraged Ravana then instructs his flesh-eating, blood-drinking and fearful rakshasas to break her pride. Prior to this rejection, he had asked the loathsome rakshasas to make sure that all her needs and demands were catered to. But on rejection, the fickle and mercurial Ravana now punishes a grieving Sita and instructs her to be kept secretively in the Ashok Vatika. She is to be ruthlessly tamed by the rakshasas via force, via cajoling, or via any means that can bend her will. By torturing her mentally and physically, her life has to be made worse than hell, so that out of desperation, Sita breaks down and succumbs to Ravana's lust. While in Dandaka Aranya too, Ram and his brother Lakshman are perpetually concerned to keep her safe, to keep Sita safe from being tormented and eaten by the rakshasas of the forest. Ravana's ultimatum, mind you, was no wordplay. It was serious and it had consequences. The rakshasas were famous for eating human flesh, and their sovereign, their king, would have acted out this ultimatum had Sri Ram, our Bhagwan, not come and rescued Sita Mata. So remember this shlok while coming across the next social media post about Ravana's supposed benevolence. Inform the unacquainted that Sita was saved from Ravana's assaults, his sexual assaults, because of a curse and not because of Ravana's moral consideration for the modesty of a woman. Had the war to rescue her not taken place, she would certainly have been eaten for breakfast. Those who are pushing the narrative of Ravana being a misunderstood hero by extension then justify his sexual cannibalism and psychopathic nature. As more and more people speak up against the malicious smear campaigns, the milieu will alter. Previously opposed, ridiculed, and misinterpreted itihas and dharma will retrieve their rightful credibility. And in times to come, as the light of truth shines, such campaigns will inevitably become ineffective. Jayatu Jayatu Rama, Jayatu Jayatu Dharma. In the next episode of the Ravana series, we will cover why was Ravana cursed. We will uncover why a curse was put on Ravana, because of which he could never touch Sita in a sexual manner, and who put that curse, and how he couldn't go ahead with his plans. Stay tuned till the next episode of the Ravana series. Like and share the video and subscribe to our channel. Jai Shri Ram.